I talk to a lot of people about where they presently are in their life. Not because I'm trying to invade their little secrets or try to see the skeletons in the closet. I just want to know how people grow. I want to see how people think. If that thought has the ability to make it to another day or another decade. The way that we think, the way that we pour ourselves into this society, or are we really doing that? What are we doing in order to be in this place of right now? Hey, it's Arrow. This is Stream Thinking, the power of now. It's learning how to trust free-form writing. And what I mean by that is it's one page, 10 minutes to write, absolutely no editing whatsoever, with plenty of time to talk about it at the end. You see, I believe, and I do live by this rule, the best decisions are made right now. So you have to own your leadership, the power of now. We're reading from November 15th, 2020. In that 10 minutes that I gave myself, right away it says, feeling inadequate. So I had to look it up. Lacking the quality and quantity required. Insufficient for a purpose. You see, the thing is, I've always tried to play by the rules because playing by the rules is what my father used to pound into my head and heart, and probably my butt. It made me feel inadequate, mainly because it always feels like the bad boys are getting the best positions and getting all the attention. Seriously, for decades, I've always seen myself as being an introvert, shy, and always out here left alone. I believe the feeling of inadequate might have been the backstage pass. So I've decided I've got to break that mold. I've got to be face to face with multiple layers of people who are on a mission. Yep, the grocery store customer. You know, being on that side of the cash register proves one thing. I'm nowhere near being an introvert, but rather I'm energized to not only learn about their stories, but to help lift them beyond their personal present mental state. As I grow into these new challenges, the spirit of development puts absolutely no fuel inside the tanks of inadequacy. I must remain aware and not in between my own cracks. What about you? How'd you get here? Do you find yourself being an introvert? These COVID-19 days, these days where we're in quarantine, do you feel like I don't want to be near anybody? But does that make you an introvert? Does it make you feel inadequate because you're feeling like I've got the energy to go out and do what I have been trained to do, but I have to change jobs? No, I'm inadequate. I can't do it. I can't move in that direction. Well, what would happen if the awareness of that new job was actually calling you to it because you have a hidden talent that needs to be exposed in the way of helping others grow forward? The journeys that we're all on are not being controlled by ourselves right now, because every day is a new step and a new direction. Feeling like you're inadequate for a position is completely 100% natural, but if you don't try something, you're never going to learn how important it was for you to make that step. Sure, you're probably not going to make as much money as you once did. The whole world is facing that right now. Not just the United States, but the UK, Japan, everybody. We're all changing at the same time. So feeling inadequate is 100% completely natural, but it's learning how to take that energy, which can be negative because you're going to hold it against yourself because you won't take a chance. Seriously, it took me forever to give myself permission to do something other than radio. I'm a radio person. I'm not the guy that's going to go into a warehouse and stack things. I'm not going to be an Uber driver. I'm not going to do any of this. I'm a radio person. I'm going to wait it out, man. Well, radio never came. It never did. So therefore, what I had to do was put my mind to work. Man, I was hired so many times for different positions, but when it came time for me to start that job, guess what? I came up with an excuse. I said, I can't do it. I think you got the wrong person. So you're not alone. Even the big people, the top dogs, feel it too. But challenge yourself to take that step, to remove that thing that makes you an introvert and grow forward and outward. Once again, you don't have to be reminded that these are changing and challenging times. And in my heart, it keeps telling me it's going to get worse. How are you preparing for it? You need to take what's inadequate in you and set it aside. Let's move together as a family. I'm Arrow, and this is Stream Thinking.